we've won. You were the one, so we all ought to die someday. And we all ought to die someday. Well, you.
Hi guys, welcome to Tea Time.
I just ate a beef stick.
Oh.
There's beef stuck in between my teeth. Today we're doing
Bad Neighbor.
Bad Neighbors.
Yeah.
We're doing Bad Neighbor stories today. That's what's going on.
And then knowing this podcast, people are going to write in going, I got a bad neighbor. My dad was my neighbor, and let me tell you what he did to my... And you're like, oh.
Yeah. No, and we have about 47 stories. So, hey, guess what? We can have this be the theme for the next 10 months.
Okay, perfect.
So I hope you guys like Bad Neighbors, because that's what we're doing.
Okay, gorgine.
So before we get into it, what's going on?
Well, okay.
Okay. You just
Okay.
got back from New York. Go on.
Okay, just did my hour in New York. We're going to unpack that on Patreon because it's giving... I really want to go off, but...
You gotta save it for behind the paywall.
Yes, got to save it for behind the paywall.
Gotta save the real secrets for behind the paywall.
Yeah, gotta save the incriminating things that are going to come out of my mouth for behind the paywall. But it was honestly really fun. Meeting the Honks was really cute. And
we were just talking about this, and I'm going to say it.
Oh.
And I know you guys are going to probably be like, Gabby, again, grumpy and hates the fans. No, I don't. I love the fans, but I'm going to tell you guys this. Okay? I love you guys. You're great. You really are. You're so funny. You're so chaotic. We love what we've cultivated with this podcast, but I'll tell you this. When you guys come to the live shows, when we do stand-up comedy, you guys can't be interrupting our sets by screaming out your traumas. Because you're not writing into the podcast, you're interrupting. And love it. Love the energy. Just save it for when we're off stage.
I will say in New York, no one did that. So I just want to say...
And I love that.
Yeah, no one in New York and no one in Portland did that. It was really sweet.
That's gorgeous. I had an incident where a girl did.
Yeah, you definitely did.
She came to a show, and in the middle of my set, she starts yelling out about, just some really personal stuff. And that's fine for the podcast, but you can't be interrupting the sets or stand-up shows to tell us about how many times family members have tried to
diddle you,
have sex with you.
Okay,
so because it's a little off-putting. It's a little off-putting to the audience. They're going, "What's going on?" And then I'm going, and then you're on a roll. It's awkward for everybody, and I know it's exciting. You know, you feel like you're experiencing this live show and you want to yell things out. I get it. I so get it. Yeah, just save it for after the show, you guys.
You know, after the show, that's when we're gonna unpack all the rips.
All of it, all the incest, all of the
honestly, we do love that. Like, we'll talk about it all day long.
All day long.
But
we got 15 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
In front of a live audience, and we're not doing. It's not the podcast, so.
Okay.
That's just I'm just throwing it out there.
You said, you know what? Because I'll be goddamned if another honk heckles me.
And I'll be goddamned if another honk heckles me.
Yeah.
Do it after the show. Just. Zip it while we're on stage.
No, period.
Love ya.
I will say the audience in the New York show was the one thing that went right. Everything was going wrong. And I was about to go find a building to jump off of. And that's kind of the energy I brought when I first got on stage. But I think it was fun. But the whole time I was just like, oh my God. I was just like seething because everything was,
They were a good audience?
They were a great audience.
Okay, good.
But I was just kind of like, I was so stressed out. Also, that city, I was texting you about it. It was rainy the whole time I was there.
Ugly.
I hate how you're walking around and
Ugly.
it's raining and you're sweaty at the same time.
It's
and I was
ugly.
like, no,
It's
you're
like-
not going to say that this is good because this is hideous.
It's not good. There's nothing good about the weather, the extreme weather in New York on the East Coast. And I'll tell you this. It's not great here anymore either. I mean, today it's 94 degrees. It's nice. It's a nice change from the dreary weather that we've had. But I'll tell you this. I'm not loving the extreme heats. I'm not loving the extreme dreary.
Yeah.
And, it's probably a result of global warming. I don't want to trigger anybody who doesn't believe in it, but it's not normal for it to be 94 degrees today and then 68 tomorrow.
No, the extremes in which the weather is oscillating, it's not It's not looking good for the future.
It's not so great, but you know where I feel like it is kind of not us talking about the weather. Where it is kind of normal is tropical places. You know, Hawaii, we've got it raining while it's hot, but that's
Well, I don't go to Hawaii because I'm a white devil and I listen to the.
That's not true. You just don't go to Hawaii because you just have never bought a ticket. You go to Hawaii. If somebody said to you tomorrow, "Hey, do you want to go to Hawaii?" You wouldn't be like, "Well, no, I don't feel like I don't want to buy into the tourism that that just extracts any kind of the environment from the native people in Hawaii." You go, "Yeah, I'll go."
A honk.
Where are we staying? The Hyatt? Yeah.
A honk.
The Hyatt on the beach in Maui? Oh yeah.
Honk. I would say no. I would say I want to go to Boise.
No,
I want to go to Boise, Idaho. That's where it's a safe place for the whites.
You want to know where I actually want to go?
Where?
Appalachia.
Okay.
I truly want to go to West Virginia.
Because you want to meet the inbred family?
Whitakers?
Yeah.
I want to go to Appalachia so bad. It
Okay.
just seems like such a fucking... It's just like all of the shit you see about it, like on TikTok, everybody's like, there's skinwalkers, it's haunted. It's like the most poor place in America, and maybe I'd go there to exploit because I just want to see. But I do. It's like, so what the fuck is Appalachia? What's going on in West Virginia?
Well, I don't know. But my friend hiked the Appalachian Trail for 6 months or 7 months, whatever it is, and he's never been the same since.
Skinwalkers, huh?
So it chemically changed, like it changed him on a cellular level after he did that hike.
Lee, have you been to West Virginia?
In a good way or a bad way?
I'm sure that there's good there, but from what I'm seeing,
Lee, have you been?
I've driven through.
What, West Virginia?
Yeah, like I've driven through the South.
What's it like?
it's just woodsy.
It's more humid than anywhere else.
Okay.
I love this weather talk. You guys, hey, write in the comments right now. How's the weather where you are right
how's
now?
the weather?
Drop us the Fahrenheit, Celsius.
Yeah, what are
if
you
you're
guys
feeling
thinking
nasty.
about the weather? What's going on?
Well, can I switch it up really quick?
Yeah.
And then we can get into neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
I have a boyfriend.
She wants to drop it right now.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Honk has a boyfriend as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that all you wanted to say?
I want you to ask me how long we've been dating.
Well, since yesterday.
Okay. We've been going out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you became your boyfriend yesterday.
Yeah.
Cool. Healthy.
Okay. And I showed my cousin in New York, I showed her a picture of him and she goes, "Why does this look like Lee?" And I go, "He doesn't look like Lee." And she goes,
There is a similarity. They have the same coloring.
"They do."
They
And
have the same
he's
coloring.
kind of Jewish too.
Cool.
Yeah. So you guys have something to talk about.
Great.
Lee
Yeah.
knows him.
And you do know him. And he works at the Comedy Store.
Oh, I know him?
Yeah.
You do
He works
know
at the
him.
Comedy Store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
See, Lee's going, why didn't she?
It's an odd choice.
What do you mean?
Whatever. I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know him that well.
He's very
He
kind.
doesn't,
He's
he
very
doesn't
funny.
work there.
But he just got hired.
Yeah, he just got hired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait. What do you mean an odd choice?
I don't know. I couldn't see that for you. I feel like that's
It's true. It's not really. But that's the thing about you. This is the way that you date. You're blindfolded and you go into a room and you just, and then you fucking throw darts at a wall. And then you open your eyes and you go, okay. Like there's no
type if I was to do a lineup. Yeah.
No, you're dating trans women, you're dating trans men, you're dating women, you're dating men, you're dating black, you're dating Mexican, you're dating short, you're dating tall, you're dating white, you're dating small.
Yes.
Like we don't know who's next on the roster.
Yeah, I kind of have like a Dr. Seuss roster, kind of
You
like a nice
do.
little rhyme.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So
well, congratulations. That's nice
thanks,
and sweet.
Lee.
That's sweet. It's sweet.
It is sweet.
Good
He's
for you.
really sweet. He's really nice and really funny.
Why are you saying it like you're mad at us?
I'm not. Well, I'm starting to get mad at you. I'm getting mad at him.
You can be mad at me. You'd be mad at me today. That's the right thing to be at me today.
Why?
Lee,
Why would we be mad
can I
at you
say
today?
something?
I'm feeling very off today.
Okay,
I
well
am
then
not
that's okay.
on-
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm very off, and I love you.
He's
but
been
you
gooning,
can
that's
be
why.
mad at me.
It's not tea time if someone's not actively using on the
But
pod.
that is actually
if you're
true.
not relapsing on the fucking pod
Dude.
and dropping insane lore, then what even is this
I
podcast?
know. I thought yesterday. I was like, man, maybe I can drink, and then I was like,
No, your ass can't.
We are slippery sloping it.
My Al-Anon kicks in. I'm like, no, you can't.
We are slippery sloping it.
Yeah.
But okay, so today we'll get into more of the personal stuff on the big page.
Yeah. Did you ever have a weird neighbor?
Hold on. I really have to think about this. Well, okay. Growing up, we had my next door neighbors, the Bachmans.
Okay.
They
It all out.
had 3 sons, and all of them were autistic. And this was before like autism was like, a popular, before everybody was like, I'm autistic.
This is before TikTok and all the white girls and stuff are like, I'm autistic. It's like, now you're just kind of a cunt. But
no, you just don't like ice in your smoothies. I don't know. What the fuck?
God, yeah.
No, they were like
This is real.
severely, yeah, these were like
This is
kids.
like OG.
These were the kind of kids like when you were young, all the other kids were like, I don't want to hang out with them because they were like, there was just something a little off, and kids are horrible, you know?
Back in the day when kids had legit autism,
Mm-hmm.
there was a speaking from like me as a child, not me as an adult. Me as a child, like I was a little bit afraid of those kids.
They were rowdy.
They were rowdy. They were biting and hitting.
Yeah, they were
unchecked. It was very like lawless.
And especially when you got 3 of them, 3 autistic boys.
Oh, game over.
Game over.
Boys?
And boys.
Yeah,
all
boy, no,
boys.
that's
they
over.
were, and they were all within like, they were like 2 years apart. Anyway, they were wild, and I remember, and I know that the oldest one now, I ran into him a couple of years ago.
You guys smash?
Yeah. He is very sweet, and he like operates a boat that he like operates a boat from like Catalina Island to San Diego. He's really sweet.
That's good.
He was a wild kid though. Anyway, the mom was so weird, and she hated our cats. And anytime that a cat pooped in her backyard, we'd see her flinging the cat poop from her yard into ours.
Well, I gotta be honest, that does sound kind of annoying. Like, why are your cats running?
I don't know, because I don't even know if they were our cats. It's a neighborhood. She just assumed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she hated our cats. She hated cats in general, but she just assumed that all of the poop in the world belonged to our cats. So she'd fling it over. And then she'd be in the front yard, and we'd see her stomping on snails.
Oh my God. What?
Stomping on snails.
Ew, that's
I know.
horrible.
Like, what's the game in the arcade? The
Dance where you're like stomping?
Yeah, dude, she was like Dance Revolutioning on the fucking snails in the front yard, and we were like,
my
okay.
God. Not her curb stomping the snails.
Yeah, it's giving Joan Bachman.
Okay.
And she was a wild. And then we had our landlord, Gust.
Dude,
Gust
and
is
things
a
have
wild
been
one.
Yeah, Gus is crazy. He now lives right across from Kate and I. He changed apartments or whatever, duplexes, and he lives right across from Kate and I. And things have never been the same ever since I accidentally sent him that thong pic.
He'd be playing the saxophone.
He was playing last night when I got home.
Yeah. When Matt used to live there, he said Gus would walk around at 3 a.m. playing the saxophone, like out in the.
Yeah, he was in his yard going. And I was like, okay, New York is still alive and well with us right here.
And Gus used to work at a bar.
At an open
mic, and he would scream at all the comedians.
Yeah, and he
was
told
also
Matt,
our landlord.
Yeah, and he told Matt that he was never going to make it in comedy.
And then I saw, oh my God, yeah, and a couple of months ago, it was like last year, I ran into Gus like in the whatever, like out in the apartment complex.
Yeah.
And he goes, you ever see Matt LeGrand? And I said, yeah, occasionally. And he goes, if I see him again, I'm going to hit him with my car. And I was like, well, that's such a weird thing to tell me.
You and Gust always had, not me saying his name, but you and Gust always had such an interesting relation. Like
kind of a kinship.
Kind of.
Yeah, he was like.
I can tell he misses you.
He had like white, blonde, stringy hair.
He doesn't gossip with me the way that he gossips with you, but he's also seen my flat ass in a thong. So.
Yeah.
And then he didn't respond. He said, sorry, I was busy. I said, too busy to. You can't just send a text. You can't even like react to it. Okay. At least we know he's faithful to his wife.
You can't even send like a exclamation point.
Yeah.
Or like
a frowny face.
I don't like this.
Yeah. My ass is fat. My ass butt is way bigger. Okay.
So that's on our neighbors.
I used to have a neighbor who, while you're pulling it up, I used to have a neighbor who he was a new kid that moved to the neighborhood. And I lived in a double cul-de-sac, and he lived like a little bit farther away. So I guess not that much of a neighbor, just like he was in the neighborhood, if you will. But he would walk and he would wait in my backyard on my trampoline. And my mom had to ask him repeatedly to not do that. And he's like, I'm just waiting for Harper to get home. She was like, yeah. So we don't do that. We don't go into people's backyards and sit on their trampoline and wait for their young daughters to get home. And he goes, I wanted to. I said, okay. And his eyes were never all the way open. They were like this. Because he was like always really high. So
this is giving the Idaho 4 by the title. Is it
Okay.
Idaho 4 or Idaho 6?
those boys that were accused of the murder?
All of those
Who, like,
kids that got
dressed
murdered in
punk?
the house.
Okay, then I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about either.
Let me read.
My neighbor tried to kill himself and his girlfriend and me and my roommate.
Okay.
So it's a long one too.
Oh. Okay.
I'm strapped in.
Hi, Stinky Winky Honkies. I love y'all so much. This is the only podcast that brings me joy. Is it gross that we read the compliments about ourselves? But it's like in the email.
That's who gives a fuck. Just go.
Okay. You got to chill out.
It's like that's fine.
You good? Okay. I love y'all so much. This is the only podcast that brings me joy. I've listened to every episode now, and I'm running it back because nothing compares and can get me through a workday like y'all. Anywho, thank you. Anywho, I have 2.5 wretched stories. In one apartment, I was living in college. I was in college living in off-campus housing. The apartments were essentially townhomes with paper-thin walls so we could hear everything. Our psychotic neighbor had this very sweet, dainty girlfriend, Wook types.
What? Oh, Lee knows this. Lee,
wook?
what's a fucking wook?
What the fuck is that?
Wook is like
we talked about it.
like a crunchy, homeless guy that goes to festivals.
That word,
It's a
I'm not going to
festival
lie
guy,
to you.
okay.
That word sounds like something I should never say. That sounded like a damn crime coming out of
We
my mouth.
talked about it, like, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I didn't remember.
No, you remember
Call the
when we had, like,
cops.
the whole thing? We were like,
No.
what's a wook?
Hey, blacked it out because it made me uncomfortable then. It's making me uncomfortable now.
Okay, it's giving wook.
Ain't remembering that.
Okay, wook.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, it gets bad. Okay. And every night we could hear them fight and scream and him calling her nasty names and a bitch and an ugly and fat. Oh,
And an ugly and fat.
and ugly and fat.
Oh. And an ugly and fat.
I added an A in there.
And an ugly and a fat.
I punched up your story, girl. I thought it needed an extra. Okay, just kidding. Okay, so this Wook guy is calling his girlfriend nasty names and ugly and a fat. We called the cops a few times and it always ended with her saying she was fine. No charges to be pressed. We would record them though through the walls.
They do love to say that they're fine. I had
a black eye. I'm good. I'm good.
I remember one of my old apartments. There was a couple that lived beneath us that were like they would violently fight. It was so scary. I remember I called the cops, and the girl, when they showed up, I heard the girl being like, "I'm fine," and I was like, "Girl, I just heard him throw you against the wall."
Well, it's also I think they get scared of like the financial standing.
I think she was also not American. I remember that too. So there's probably some of that.
Okay, so now you're calling the police on an immigrant. Okay, kind of weird. Okay, weird folks. We called the cops a few times. Gabby, weird. But it always ended up with her saying she was fine. No charges to be pressed. We would record them through the walls though, but it was never enough. We asked our landlord to please evict them, but he said no. It continued to escalate. He tried to hang himself from a shitty Walmart ceiling fan, which promptly ripped from the ceiling with his grotesque ogre weight.
Dude, wait, that is so embarrassing. Imagine trying to hang yourself and you're too fat and the thing falls and then it's just like you on the ground. Just, oh man. That's
more pathetic.
Dude, that's
than you.
so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's
than trying to beat your girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, not just like a fucking oaf of a hamburger
and he's
man.
just laying on the ground with the thing around his neck and he's like, oh, dang.
Yeah, so what do you do? So you fall in the face. You're like, gee, maybe I'll just try jerking off. It's like, what do you do after that?
Yeah, what do you do?
And
And then you just like get up and like make a sandwich and you still have the thing tied around your neck and you're like, well, I guess I'll go eat a bologna sandwich.
you know that moment when you, right after, it's like the second after you come, specifically from watching porn, and you go, what the fuck did I just do? That I feel like is not dissimilar to this. Like you fall from the fan and you go, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
My bad.
Yeah.
Just kind of shame.
Yeah. You go wash your hands and you're like, well, I guess I'll call my friend.
You're like, gonna just pretend like that didn't happen. One night, his mom showed up, and the two of them were tag team screaming at my roommate and I, calling us stupid fucking bitches and to mind our business, the works. He then announces to us that he had a loaded shotgun. Good. Oh, he didn't want to. Okay.
Why didn't he use that?
Yeah,
then? I use that to,
because Mr. Hamburger Helper wanted to see what that fan could do. We again tell our landlord, and nothing. It went on until he eventually moved out. The girl stayed with him, and last I checked, they were still together.
Damn, it
was a
sucks.
sleepless lease.
That sucks.
A few years later, I moved to New Orleans. We moved into a gorgeous Victorian Barbie dream house, and the landlord was living in California. She hired a management company based out of Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge? Oh.
Yeah, it's giving Baton Rouge.
Girl, come on, girl. You always flame me.
It's giving Baton Rouge.
Girl! Girl!
Baton Rouge.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I said it with class. Okay, it's Baton. Fuck y'all. Okay.
It's giving Baton.
Yeah, and it's on Baton Rouge. Whatever!
It's so Baton Rouge.
Girl, I don't know about this. Okay. I'm jet lagged. Like, I can't. Okay.
So true.
Ooh, someone's nasty. And it ain't me. Okay. An hour and a half away. Nasty. Our AC went out approximately once a month, and the maintenance guy was this bum-ass, decrepit creep that would show up unannounced with a key and let himself in. It's giving Gus.
No, because it is.
Our landlord, y'all, okay, well, not yours anymore because you moved out, but my landlord will straight up still do that and will walk in.
But then he complains. He would do this if we locked ourselves out. He'd get so mad and he'd be like, "You guys can't do this. I don't have time to come and unlock your door." And I'm like, "You come in anyway." Basically,
I'm like, "You're already in here.
What are
You're
you
upstairs. Like, just come downstairs and let me into my own apartment,
please,
and get out of my room."
Yeah, unlock yourself from my room. Come out.
Yeah. Stop sniffing that. You know what? You don't even have to stop sniffing the underwear.
No, just fine. Take it with you. Just let us in.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, fuck.
I'll give you the one I'm wearing now. It's fresh.
He doesn't want the fresh one. He wants a soiled one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was like a fresh soiled.
Well, you didn't make it seem like that's what you were saying. You said it was a fresh one, as if you just.
I said I'll give you the ones I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, but then you said it's
because
a fresh
I'm wearing
one.
it, and if I'm locked out, I had been having a busy day.
Okay, well, you didn't say all that.
Baton Rouge. Okay. He would let himself in and turn off the alarm because, of course, he knew the code.
Okay.
At one point,
that's enough.
At one point, he had to get to the vent under my bed where I had been keeping a couple ropes for getting tied up and such.
Oh.
He should have lent them to the hamburger guy from the last place. Okay. I come home from work and my ropes were on my dresser and he's sitting in the backyard chain smoking. When he sees me, he tells me, "I saw what was under your bed," with a toothless grin. Oh, not the toothless. Everything it's so much more sinister when there's no teeth.
No, and because you know that this guy has definitely done some horrible shit to women.
And children.
And the bodies are buried somewhere.
Yeah, when he saw the ropes, he goes, "Oh, you're one of me."
Yeah. He said, "I've been
He's
down
looking
this
for his
road."
Ghislaine.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Then he proceeds to sit with my roommates and smoke a cig, which we promptly asked if...
No, please help yourself. Make yourself at home.
If he was finished working and if he would please leave. Within 3 weeks of the lease, our AC once again goes out in July. In New Orleans, our landlord says that she won't be fixing it because there's only 3 weeks left. She? That was a he.
This is she.
No. We endured nearly 100-degree temperatures for 3 whole weeks. I ended up moving in with a man I had only known for a couple weeks because of it. We're still together 2.5 years later. But fuck you, Babs. We had AC maybe half the year we were living there. That's so funny.
Why are landlords so fucking cheap?
They're so fucking cheap. I'm
What's
like,
wrong
you're
with
literally
them?
raping my bank account. Just fix it.
What is wrong with them?
Remember when ours, he wouldn't fucking fix the mold?
The mold.
I was like, hey, we have mold in the apartment.
It literally
from when it rains because there's a leak. And he goes, and then they painted over it. And I go,
they painted over it. There was mold everywhere. And we were like, you need to fix this. You need to do something about it. And he just wouldn't.
I know.
What the fuck? You guys get it together.
I know. Okay,
Jesus.
wait.
Yeah.
We're almost done. Okay.
Okay.
One lease, while my roommates were all traveling and I was alone, I had a squatter. Oh, that's horrifying. That's fucking horrifying. Like, I would come home from work to shit in the toilet.
No.
Lights would be on. Trash cans would be moved.
Not the shit in the toilet. You
It's
didn't have to
getting
say shit in the toilet. You could just say, I mean, I like that you said shit in the toilet, but I like that that's what you needed to add. You could have just said, I came home to use the bathroom. I came home to shit in the toilet.
No, Gabby, I think she's saying I would come home from work. Wait,
Oh, to finding shit in the toilet?
She's walking and going like, oh, and then there's
then somebody took a
man's
shit.
in the toilet. No,
Okay.
she's not saying I'm getting home from work.
I'm getting him to take a shit in the toilet.
No.
Okay. So she's finding shit in the toilet.
Also,
got it.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, that's how it is.
No, you guys are very
I came
broken.
home to fucking lay a log and
No.
okay.
And of all people to pass judgment, it's not coming from you too. I'll say that. Ew! That laugh was so diarrhea coated. Okay. Lights would be on, trash cans would be moved. I had to sleep at my friend's house every single night. I would come home every night with my taser and announce myself, shower, pack a bag, leave till the morning. My landlords did not care because once again, the lease was almost up. You don't have to read all these, of course. Guess what? I did. But I think my current landlord might be the only decent one in my 10 years of renting. He does the yard decorations for Jennifer Coolidge and doesn't ever show up unannounced.
Oh.
The bare minimum, some would say, except for the one time our window broke in the summer, and he said he won't replace it. Okay. Oh, and she says, I'm so glad Leah's back. In my re-listen, I skipped the episodes he's not in because he really adds a punch. Not that y'all need a man.
That was like so many episodes.
Hey, so that was like about a year.
Yeah.
That was like a year's worth
That was
of
like
episodes.
a year.
50 episodes.
That was like so many.
Yeah, that was so many episodes.
Welcome back.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Not.
Just casually skipping 50 episodes.
You know what? Go take a shit in your fucking toilet. I'm done, dude.
Hi, guys. Sorry to pause the episode. If you guys could please subscribe wherever you're listening right now, that would really immensely help us grow this podcast. Please like, share, comment, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And if you are in California, specifically Southern California, you can see Gabby and I live May 24th at the Yellow Door Theater in San Diego. Okay, back to the episode. Thank you.
Remember when we had Jeff producing for like 2 episodes and we were like, this is not working out?
Remember I made out with him on my birthday? That also was not working out. I think he had a girlfriend then too.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
I don't think so.
Because I know he was seeing that
Are
girl
we
around.
keeping this?
Yeah, who cares?
Who gives a
Okay.
fuck?
I
Okay.
think he
Fuck
listens.
him. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, nice guy. Just didn't work
Yeah,
out.
he's a great guy.
This is, some people come, some people go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Emily?
Landlord hired
He
us.
comes, and he doesn't stop coming. So
What, Lee? Oh, he
yeah.
stops coming. He literally stopped coming 30 minutes before we were supposed to record an episode, which is why we had to go to Jeff.
Hey, he was edging us.
Yeah,
he was
he
edging
was.
himself.
And then he tried to like big dick us on the reunion episode.
I'm gonna say this. I did like your stories, but it was a little misleading. It was such a dramatic title. I was like, oh, he's gonna like show up with a knife and try to murder you. I was like, well,
Yeah, everything kind of seemed okay.
yeah.
But hey, guess what? Okay,
Yeah, good.
good. Good. Now, landlord hired us for a stripper party, and she sucked him off.
Oh,
Patreon. Okay, so we're gonna read this. We're gonna
okay.
read this on Patreon.
okay.
Okay. I met these girls in Brooklyn, and they go, Gabby, we met Harper-Rose in Brooklyn. This is our bad neighbor story, flipped car.
Okay.
Want to try it?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Hey, Honkianos and mid-size Lee. I've been a fan since the early days when it was just Gabby's hot takes on TikTok. And I've been spreading
Insta.
the gospel of tea time far and wide. Got my bestie Melanie hooked, too. We're both Patreon baddies now. Okay, hell yeah. And we just saw Harper-Rose live in Brooklyn. It was a magical night where we almost choked from laughing. Truly, y'all have performance dysmorphia if you thought it wasn't a good set. So, thank you for being hilarious, but also for being raw, real, insightful, and soulful. Seriously, you've gotten us through a lot. Hey, thanks. That's very sweet. Okay, so
These girls were really cutie.
here's my story from when Melanie and I lived in the same house. It was the summer of 2020, an unforgettable summer, wasn't it? We lived in this big 3-apartment house with friends on every floor. We had a cute little 5-person quarantine pod, and we basically lived in the backyard doing prison yard workouts, barbecuing, and gardening. That's so cute. Dude,
Mhm.
COVID was fucking lit. And just fully slithering into oblivion as the heat melted us down. Now the houses in our neighborhood were super close together, separated by fences, and there was this one neighbor child. At first, he was kind of funny. He'd peek over the fence and shout at us. He'd call the bearded dudes in the house Abraham Lincoln while spraying them with a hose. Kind of iconic. But then it started escalating. How old was this kid?
Mm-hmm.
He started yelling stuff like, "Wait till I get my hands on a Glock. Y'all are going to get off my block then."
Well, that's not.
So maybe, the issue here might be the parents. Why don't we take a look at what's going on with the parents?
And that's what Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, that movie, that's really what they're trying to say. It starts with the parents.
This kid's not saying this because he just pulled it out of his ass. And we were like, okay, not cute anymore. He'd play baseball and purposely hit our cars.
Oh!
Or basketball. How the fuck old was he? He'd play basketball and purposely hit our cars. One time, he'd swung a baseball bat at one of us. Okay, this kid's psychotic.
He's gonna kill women.
I think the kid was 11. That's really young, and this poor kid is probably has a very rough home life.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, should we be getting cameras? He was getting bolder by the day. This is honestly frightening. We weren't exactly great at locking up the backyard or bringing in the booze and weed. Oops. One fateful day in 2020, we were all coming back from a big camping trip. I had just stepped on a rusty nail in a river, and I was still in my bathing suit, annoyed that I'd need a tetanus shot while urgent cares were swarmed with people getting COVID tests. We're like 5 minutes from home when Mel, who lived upstairs and arrived home a bit earlier, calls me. Her voice is shaky. And she goes, "So, I guess the kid took his mom's car for a joyride and smashed every car on the block."
Shut up.
Including yours.
No.
The kid is 11.
The kid is sinister.
This kid needs to be put down. Ooh. This kid needs to be euthanized. I'm sorry.
This is why I stand for late-term abortions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This kid, I know people are like, save the children. Hey,
no.
Get rid of the ones that are actually nightmare. Like,
and
this
look,
is...
I'm sorry. Sometimes you're going to have a bad egg. It happens all the time. Sometimes there's just a bad egg. That's a bad egg. It sounds like the home life is really bad. He needs extensive therapy in a padded room, but also short term, just put down. That's crazy.
This is bad.
That's horrifying.
Oh my
God, dude.
I'm just staring at the phone. I can't even comprehend what she said. Boyfriend pulls onto our street, and it looks like a full-on crime scene. Where the fuck is the mom? Where's the mom? Is she
on Percocet?
Literally, no.
She's on Percocet and white wine.
She's got to be. Like, where are the fucking parents? Cop lights, neighbors outside, tow trucks everywhere. At the end of our tiny street, a flipped car.
No.
The kid.
Oh.
Y'all, this demon child stole his mom's car during a cute little pool party they were having. And because he was 11 and didn't know how to drive, he swerved at a high speed, smashed into my beloved goofy little Honda Element, then zigzagged down the block, just ping-ponging off every car, and somehow flipped the car.
Was he okay?
His own car?
I think so.
CPS and the cops had already been in and out of that house for years.
Okay.
He ended up going to a psychiatric facility for a year, thankfully, and came back medicated.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Although later on, he broke into our friend's car and stole money.
So that's not...
Neighbors across the street sent us Ring camera footage. But get this, insurance paid me a settlement for a total loss. They paid $5,000. And let me tell you, my 2005 Honda Element was not worth that much if I tried to sell it. I took the money, added a little of my own, and signed a lease for a tattoo studio. I'd been tattooing for 5 years at that point and was ready to go off on my own. I now run a cute, successful tattoo studio called Baddie Tattoos. Some folks said I should have named it Flipped Car LLC, and honestly, okay. Anyway, thank you for giving us the space to share stuff like this. Mel and I trauma bonded that summer. Wow.
That's a good story. That's crazy.
Dude, that kid, something so sinister was happening to that kid.
There was like a Dr. Phil episode about children that had like severe mental disorders, I guess you could say. There was this kid that would wipe his own shit on the walls and like get insects, keep them alive, and pull their legs off. And he was just hey, so that's sociopathic. And I do feel like there could be maybe some, some overlap there with this story. Because I'm just like,
I'd say so. The thing is, it's like
also getting medicated and then still acting. I'm just like, what's going on there?
It's hard because it's like if you're born like predisposed to mental illness, or you have like some kind of chemical imbalance and you're like a sociopath. And if you're raised in a home that does not nurture you correctly, it is a recipe for disaster.
Of course.
Wasn't this the thing? Not with oh my God, I always forget his name. Not Ted Bundy, the gay one that they made the show off of. What the fuck was his name?
Wait, isn't that Ted Bundy?
No, it was the guy.
Oh my God, I used him in the
Wisconsin
flyer. Yes.
Dahmer.
Dahmer. God
Dahmer.
damn it, I always forget his name. Dahmer. It was like that. Like he had a weird home life, but like he also was kind of born fucked up.
Yeah. It's just like a recipe for a perfect storm.
Jesus Christ. I wonder where that kid's at now, dude. That's...
I hope he is not hurting people or himself because that's sincerely scary.
I'm sorry. Also, it's like, what is it going to take for cops to actually do something in these scenarios? Like, they're like, oh, CPS has been called a lot of times. It's like, then something's wrong. Then somebody needs to intervene. It's like the fucking Gabriel Fernandez story where it was like, that kid was going to die and nobody did anything about it. Like, they just slipped through the cracks.
Well, this is also why I think that therapy should be utilized way more than it is. Because it's like, okay, they'll take kids away from the parents and then just put them in a system that ignores them. And then they often get put in very abusive homes or people, because you can get money the more kids you have in your home. So then they'll be running like a really jank ass, weird little house full of like neglected children, which is not a great situation from where they just came from. But I'm like, they should be, I don't know. I just think that we.
And here we are saying that abortion shouldn't be legal. It's like, well.
We need to be providing more care for these kids that are fucking alive. And don't worry, they won't.
No,
switch
they
with
won't.
the way this administration's going.
No, this administration that loves kids, quote unquote, and then wants to take away all of the resources that are, funding government resources. Okay.
And that's fun.
Hey, my bestie has caused an over 1,000 mouse infestation in her NYC apartment, bitch. Fuck you. This is like what Joy did when she brought all those damn crickets inside.
I will never get over that. That was maddening. And it was also, in that moment, I remember being afraid of Joy. I was like, oh, I literally, the kid that flipped the car, that's how I looked at Joy. I was like, oh, I don't know if you're mentally well.
The cats will play with them.
I was like, they won't play. And also, if you did that with like 3 crickets, that's crazy. I was like, don't release bugs in the home.
Not 800
But it was a
crickets.
box of crickets, Lee.
What were they for? What was her
A lizard.
A lizard that died.
It was for a lizard that died, and she brought home all these crickets to feed it, and then the lizard died, and then she released the crickets in the house because she was like, the cats will like it. Joy's something else.
She is so funny, but in that moment, I was scared of her. God. Okay. My bestie has caused an over 1,000 mouse infestation in her New York City apartment. Hey, Hunky-Yanas. Honestly, what? I recognize this girl's name. I feel like I've damned. Okay. Anyways, hey, Hunkarinas. Honestly, this is not only a wild story, but also the biggest problem in my life right now.
Not right now.
If you want to hark back to the advice giving days to help me out, I would fully appreciate it.
Oh, fuck.
Moved out of New York. Boom. My best friend lives a couple blocks from me in a New York City apartment complex. Like, the mouse infestation in my subject line is not isolated to just some little suburban property she owns, but she has probably made this entire apartment complex condemnable just for full context.
Fuck you. Are you serious?
It all started as a regular old New York City mouse infestation. And like any sane person, she trapped the mice humanely and released them in a park until her infestation was gone. Where it actually gets psychotic is that once that infestation was clear, she missed having mice around. So she went
Shut up.
This is Joy.
Shut the fuck up.
This is literally Joy coded.
She gets rid of all of the mice and then she goes, I actually liked having mice.
She's like, I liked the little squeaking and I can't blame them for wanting some cheese.
I liked finding their little poops all over every counter surface and hearing them in the walls chewing on all of the cords.
She started cooking and thinking about ratatouille and she goes, I know what I need to do. So she went to Petco and got 2 pet mice to bring home. 2! Double dipping. This was all cute for a while. She made sure they were both female. She walked around with them hiding in her sweaters and popping out the sleeve every once in a while.
There's something wrong with rat people. And I love animals. Here's the thing. I just wouldn't. It's like rat people, they love to do this. They love to put them in their sleeves and be like, look what I've got. And you're like, ah.
It's a jump scare thing. I mean, I told y'all when I got, like, this day I landed back in this shitfuck country from being in Prague, My cousin picks me up from the airport with her boyfriend, takes me to her place, and they have what I have to call Rat City because it's higher than these plants. It is a massive rat enclosure, and they're like, oh, they keep breeding, and I'm like,
Yeah,
hey,
they do.
don't let that happen.
I do like
just like don't let it happen.
I like that they have like a whole enclosure. They're like, well, if we're gonna keep
two
them,
enclosures.
I like that. They're letting the rats
The whole
have fun.
living room though is just rat.
Yeah, see, it's enough.
And
it's
I go-
enough with the rats. And you go, didn't we learn anything from the plague?
Shout out to my cousin. Okay. And no, we didn't. This was all cute for a while.
Oh
She
my
made sure they were
God.
both female, walked them around, the sweaters popping. Okay, I fucking hate
They
that.
all get like tumors, and it's like sad and grotesque.
Well, and also rats, like they're very vicious, and like they can like eat their young too.
oh my God, the rodents love to eat their young.
They love to fucking eat their young.
But this, to be honest, this is what Republicans say about Democrats. They're like, Democrats eat their kids. So
Okay.
they think that that's what's going on. They say they'll eat them.
Okay. It was arguably kind of cute, and the mice clearly made her happy. Who gives a fuck? However,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No. However, then one of the wild mice came back into her apartment.
There we go.
She named him after her ex-boyfriend and set her female pet mice up on dates with him. So let
Your
me tell
friend
you.
needs
Let me say this.
mood stabilizers.
It's that, but your friend, she needs more stimulation because what's happening here is this is what's happening when you don't have hobbies. We
I'm
got to
sorry,
get
but-
her in a painting class. We got to get her dancing.
She lives in New York. It's not like she's out in the middle of New Mexico. You can go outside. There's plenty to do.
No, there ain't when it's raining.
You can go. Come, it's New York. You're not.
No.
Yeah.
No. The pet mice ended up pregnant from these dates.
Not the dates, dude.
I wonder how the relationship was with the not the rice. I'm tired. I wonder how the relationship was with the girl mice because I guess like they're both getting, they're both like bouncing on this guy.
Yeah, you think there's jealousy, like sister wives type thing?
Yeah, totally. The whole thing spiraled out of control.
Yeah, girl. What do you think? Oh,
And not hers. Okay, all of my empathy is leaving because
no.
she literally did this to her damn self.
This bitch is pissing me off.
I know.
This bitch is pissing me off.
I know, but don't worry, because here we go. She completely personified these mice and cannot comprehend that mice just do not have the same emotional attachments as human beings. She didn't want to make the mice sad. Oh, okay. By keeping them away from their boyfriend. And once they
Stop.
birthed their first litters, 10 mice per mouse litter, so 20 mice, she didn't want to make the mice sad by separating them from their babies.
No.
So despite all my best efforts and advice, she kept them all in a cage together, never separating them by gender.
Shut up.
So
She's got 87 mice.
I want you to listen to me very carefully. This is a very severe case of retarditis and needs to be treated immediately.
It does. It's giving
Yeah.
weird mouse hoarder. It's mentally ill.
This is mentally ill because you're not using critical thinking and logic, and
No.
this isn't also the Berenstein Bears or whatever. This isn't like cartoon. Like this is
No,
real
this isn't
life.
Stuart Little. Like these are real mice that repopulate
This isn't
in 4
Pixar.
days.
We're not. Yeah, this is okay.
No, it's too much with the
My
damn
fake
mice.
hair's coming out. Sorry, toots. $100 on the floor. Okay. The second generation baby mice at this point are all phonetically wild mice, which means they are smart, agile, and they quickly figured out how to escape the cage. Of course, my friend is like, well, they must want to be near their father too. And just lets all these...
I don't give a fuck.
Wait a minute, because I want you to get horny. She just lets all the mice free roam in what she calls an open concept mouse living situation. Open concept...
Girl, this isn't a preschool.
Yeah, But this is a mental institution. You have now just turned your house into a one-woman mental
Do
institution.
you know that clip from Hoarders where they walk in and it's just
there's a fucking picture of okay.
it's the woman and she's like 90 years old and they walk in and she's like in a pile of trash, just like covered by stuff, and they're like, oh, and she's like, hi.
Yeah, I loved watching that in the pandemic.
I think that this woman is like laying in her pile of mice.
Well, she probably is. Okay. And also not being like, it's open concept. Her and Joy need to meet. Miss Cricket and Miss Mouse.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven.
This all happened in December. Okay, so fairly recent. This all happened in December, and the mouse gestation periods are only 3 weeks long, and they become fertile soon after birth. So mathematically, by now, there are over 1,000 mice just free roaming all over her apartment. Despite my fear of interacting with 1,000 fucking mice at once, I've gotten myself over to her apartment a few times just to make sure she's alive and hasn't suffocated herself to death on mouse urine-filled air.
This is like so unhealthy too.
Well, this is, I mean, we're having a laugh, but like this legitimately is a mental illness. This is someone who's not able to have a good grasp on reality. And I know we're teasing, but like this is legitimate, like you're hoarding.
Because it started off,
Also, call an exterminator.
Well, she can't. It's like she loves these mice. And I get it. I get that you don't want to kill the mice, but you need to capture them and release
or
them.
You need to call an animal control. That's like not
you
an
can't
exterminator.
do this. Yeah.
You can't, like you need to. So anyway, I'm not about to come over there and fucking fight your friend. Okay. Oy vey. God, what trauma happened in her life that she has such a hard time letting go? Like the abandonment issue is so strong that she's like, you know what? I don't really have a family, so I'm going to make a furry family.
She saw Stuart Little and she said, how can I make this
and
reality?
She's like, you guys were cowards in Stuart Little to just have one mouse. I'm going to have a whole ecosystem. Okay, holy shit. Okay, so here we go. Okay, this all happened in December. There's a fucking I would have to make sure she hasn't poisoned herself by sharing her kitchen with mice and eating food covered in mouse shit.
Girl, no, and you know that they're like getting into her bread and all of her food.
Of course, and they're crawling on her when she sleeps. It's so bad. I'm attaching a picture of the regular hoarding situation.
I'm so glad you sent a picture because I was gonna say I hope she sent pictures.
I just told you, yeah, she sent a picture and she like before I started reading, I told you it's legit. This is okay. So your friend needs a lot of help, and I don't know if she's gonna get it, but holy fuck. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm attaching a picture of the hoarding situation I stumbled across the last time I was there, and to imagine the mouse hoarding, just envision that little mouse heads are sticking out of every single layer of these piles in every couple seconds, and occasionally running across the floor. It smells wretched. Like literally before you even get the door open, just standing in the hallway, you start gagging on the smell.
No.
I'm sure it's even worse inside. Especially in her bedroom where the 2 pet mice still live. Now that's kind of sinister to have an open floor concept and all the mice are scurrying about and then you cage the 2 OG mice.
She said my king and queen stay in here on their throne.
Yeah.
The plebes can
muddle about. Well, I wonder if the king and queen are sad that they're in the cage and they want to be scurrying about.
Yeah, where's the logic?
Not seeing it, not adding up. Okay.
Holy.
Oy. It smells wretched, like literally before you even get the door open, just standing in the hallway, you start gagging on the smell. I'm sure it's even worse inside, especially in her bedroom. Okay, yeah, sorry. I can't bring myself to enter. My body literally just will not let me walk past the doorway because of how fucking disgusting it is in there. This is so unsafe. I'm actually so worried about her living situation, both because I'm so convinced she's going to die from mouse urine inhalation and the mice are going to start eating her body before I even get a chance to find it. But also because there's no way everything in that apartment isn't condemnable. There's no way the apartment is livable in at all.
No.
And there's no way these mice aren't running in and out of the walls, going into her neighbors' apartments too. It's so fucking hard to find an apartment. It's so fucking hard to find an apartment in NYC. Like literally it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So I don't want her to get evicted either. But also it's really hard to see a way out of this for her without calling animal control.
You have to.
Hey, girl,
you got to do it.
Girl,
you
I'm sorry. We should have called animal control 2 litters ago. This is wild.
I mean, literally.
Here's the advice. Call animal control right now. I'll fucking call them. Like, let's go.
You need to call animal control.
Because no regular person is capable of clearing an infestation like this. And given that she's fucking named these guys and still walks around with mice in her shirt and takes them to hang out in the park and drives in her car, she's clearly not capable of getting rid of these mice by herself. Like she literally loves these tiny things. Well, she needs to love herself, babe. I actually looked into getting her onto the show Hoarders for her mice hoarding problem, but they aren't taking applications right now.
Oh, too bad.
I really don't know how to get her the help she clearly needs, how to get rid of these mice, how to get the apartment back into livable conditions. It's just all overwhelming and insane. I'm literally so distressed by this that I couldn't make it into Brooklyn for your show, Harper, because it's just zapping me of all my energy to just worry about her like this all day and night. I'm so sad to have missed you, but I hope this story excuse makes up for it. Number 1, it literally does. Number 2, I've met you, I think a couple times. You've already seen my show. You're literally perfect. And I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. You gotta call. Look.
That's the house
that makes
before the mice?
No, girl. Yeah, this is her. this is
Yeah,
just
so
like
it's an extreme hoarder situation. This is terrible.
yeah, I'm so sorry that you
She's
So here's the thing: if you call animal control, they're just gonna tell you to call a pest service.
really
Mice
Really?
are pests. They're not like this is an infestation of a pest.
right.
Okay, not them not being considered
It's
animals.
not like a raccoon, you know.
Okay, so you're saying that mice aren't high value.
No.
So,
Okay.
and the other thing is like, I know that you're like, oh, she doesn't want to help. It's like, yeah, or she doesn't want to do anything about it, whatever you said, but it's like, there's nothing you can do if she doesn't recognize that this is a problem and she can't, like,
no.
you can't do anything about it, which sucks. It's like, you just, you can in the way that, like, you can be her friend and be like, try to get her to be reflective of the situation, to be like, hey, like,
Yeah, you could. You know what? You could try and do
how
an
are
intervention.
You could do an intervention. You honestly could. This is really bad. This is a
The hoarding is
dire
already
situation.
scary, but adding the mice on top, like she could die.
She could. Oh,
yeah.
100%.
I'm wondering, like, are her parents also hoarders? Is there? She needs.
Yeah.
When I see someone that's like this, I just go, oh wow, they need love. So
Yeah. What is your friendship like with her? What do you know about her? Like, this is a dire situation.
yeah, prayers up.
I mean, it also could be a 72-hour hold, you know, like
yeah. Like a psych ward thing.
Yeah.
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 I'm afraid that is what it's giving. You can't live with thousands of mice in your apartment. It's terrible for everybody in the unit.
And also, yeah, no, you're endangering you're literally not even just yourself, you're people in the unit. And also, New York is so
Oh my God.
tight and close together, you're going to endanger the whole fucking city.
People are paying so much money to live in these stupid fucking rotten apartments.
and then there's roaches on top of that. I can't.
No, this is really unsanitary. This is terrible. And I get, like, these are mice and you, like, have an attachment to the animal, like, whatever, but, like, girl, you can't. It's like, no.
Yeah, so we all know what needs to happen. Can we do one more?
What are we at?
Because
we're coming up on an hour.
Let's go to Patreon.
Okay, guys. So that was honestly part 1 of Bad Neighbors. We're gonna read more on Patreon, specifically
Christ.
creepy special needs Trump supporter neighbor. Got
I
a hot
love
one
that.
for you to read.
I love that.
And we're just gonna have some more gossip. And thanks for listening and for writing in, you guys. We'll see you next week.
See you there.
You were the brave one. You were the one. So we all ought to die someday. And we all ought to die someday, someday. Well, you were the brave one. Yeah, you were the one. So we all ought to die someday. And probably not from smoking one of your cigarettes.